Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Click the subscribe button. When you subscribe, we'll be able to get across to other people, to benefit from the videos that will be sharing premium content around cybersecurity related matter and how to navigate cybersecurity, even as a newcomer or as an enthusiast, somebody that is just transitioning into cybersecurity. Not only that, you'll be able to have access to videos that will help you in your career journey in cybersecurity. So help us to propagate this and subscribe. Click the notification bell so that every time we upload new videos, you'll be able to get the notification that the new video is up, right? Subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you.
Ndo honest abi yan ke o na no bi yan because man ma bele food ni ma ma bele food part ni na ma se.
Okay, good evening, everybody. You will not be able to see my face, right? You don't need to see my face. My name is Segun E, Olaniyan, the convener of the Digital Investigation Bootcamp, founder of Digital Security Village. I know I'm not new to most of us. If you have attended the pre-bootcamp, you should know me by now. But if you want to know more about me, just hop onto LinkedIn and search for my name, Segun E, Olaniyan. You will know more about me there. And we already know why we are here. This is a boot camp, right? And what we are trying to solve with this boot camps, we have series. This is just one of the series, right? Is to give those who are just transitioning into cybersecurity or even cybersecurity professionals, cybersecurity enthusiasts, to give them a focused learning. That is a focused learning that helps them to gain particular skill set in the cybersecurity domain. There are numerous of skills that is in existence, numerous of domain that is in existence. And what we have discovered over time is that there are internships, co-ops, there are trainings that give people all they try to touch every domain and give them full knowledge of everything. And I discovered that a lot of people are not good in one domain while they are good in another domain. So we are trying to solve that problem by giving a focus, a focused learning that helps you to gain particular specific skill in cybersecurity. And that is why everything you'll be learning in this bootcamp or during the bootcamp will be on investigation, digital forensics, everything around. We are not going outside of that domain. So it will be different technologies and different scenarios, but still within the domain of forensics and investigation. And that is why we'll be starting with malicious email analysis and investigation today. Don't worry, it might sound very funny now, but I trust the integrity and the competency of our speaker today. And you could see on the screen, Nanbaan is a very vibrant cybersecurity analyst, specialist, anyone you want to call it, professional with experience in penetration testing, email security, and cyber awareness. In a few years in the industry, she realized that women are hugely underrepresented, and dearly needed in the field. So because of this, that spurred our interest in volunteering and becoming part of programs aimed at attracting and promoting women in the male-dominated industry like cybersecurity. So currently, she's CompTIA Security Plus certified, and she's the community manager of Cyber Learners Community with over 1,000 girls across Africa. That is huge. So you know that the facilitator knows what, she has the competency, to deliver what she's going to be teaching us today. And I want us to be very attentive and follow suit. Try and jot something. If you have your laptop with you, try and demonstrate as she will demonstrate. It is strictly practical. And you will enjoy it. It is very interesting stuff, right? So yeah, I've talked too much, so I'm going to be leaving the platform for Nanbaan to take on. Nanbaan, you're welcome. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and you can take it off from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Segun, and hello everyone. Nice to see you again. I hope you all are ready for this session. I'm excited for what I have to share with you, and I hope you have a good time. So I know it's supposed to be strictly practical, but I made a small presentation for you. Let's see. Okay, so so we're starting with introduction to email forensics, introduction. What is an email? Types of emails, phishing and why phishing mails are dangerous, and types of victims. Now, okay. So I'll start with the types of email. We have your personal email, your business email, we have business group email, and we have disposable emails. Your personal email is, an example, nanbaan@gmail.com. So if your name is Jacob, you have jacob@gmail.com. Those are your personal emails, the one you use for your day-to-day activities, the ones you use to register on websites, register for school, to register for everything you do online. Then we have business emails. Business emails are corporate emails that are used within organizations. Example is, I work at Cyber Foundation.
Hello, Nanbaan. Sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
Are you sharing your screen? Because if you are, we're not seeing it.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, can you see it now?
No, we can't see your screen. What is it? What's the message? Is it saying you started sharing screen?
Yes.
Are you able to share screen? Like, were you
yes.
given that? Yeah. So we have not.
Can you see it now?
We can't see it yet.
Okay, just give me a sec. Sorry, can't share your screen. Okay, let me try it again.
Okay, like you don't have the ability to share your screen. Is that it?
Yeah, that was the message I was given.
Okay, let me make you co-host straight up. So
Okay.
try and share your screen now.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so like I said, I'll be talking about introduction, phishing emails, victim profiles, and investigating phishing emails. I've spoken about the types of emails now. And we're now going to email proper. So these are the terms you need to know when it comes to using emails. We have the mail user agent, the mail transfer agent, simple mail transfer protocols, and post office protocol and IMAP. Now, the mail user agent is a client that is used to access emails like Outlook, Gmail, Hotmail, etc. The mail transfer agent is primarily called the mail exchanger, which is responsible for processing emails. And then the SMTP is the messenger, which is also the protocol used to communicate. Then we have post office protocol and IMAP for retrieving emails. So this diagram is an example of how email flows within a network. I have Nanbaan at Digital Security Village, and I have Vera at Digital Security Image. Now, both of us work at Digital Security Village, and we have one mail transfer agent, which is the Digital Security Village server. Now, if I'm sending an email to Vera, what happens is when it leaves my computer, it goes to the mail transfer agent that is destined for another employee, which is Vera, within Digital Security Village. And from the mail transfer agent, Vera's address is found, and the email is redirected to her inbox. So when the email gets into her inbox, her mail user agent, which is her email, which is vera@gsecvillage.com, retrieves the email from the inbox and drops it in her inbox, drops it for her to read. Now, according to my explanation, if the DigiSec MTA retrieves the email from me, that's destined for her, then the mail transfer agent will deliver it to Vera's inbox, where Vera's MUA can retrieve it. Now, this is a scenario of if I'm communicating with Vera and she works at a different organization using corporate emails now. If I'm working at Digital Security Village and Vera is at Paystack, we are using separate mail transfer agents, so the communication is not direct. There has to be a communication over the internet because it is not an intranet, it is an internet communication. Now, how it happens is when I send out the message, it goes to my mail transfer agent. My mail transfer agent now has to communicate over the internet with Paystack's mail transfer agent, which is facing the internet. When it communicates with Paystack's mail transfer agent, it now finds, okay, it asks who is Vera at Paystack. And it's like, okay, yes, we have a Vera here. And then the mail is accepted by this MTA, and then it is retrieved by her mail user agent within Paystack. Now, how does DigiSec's email server know how to reach Paystack's mail transfer agent? That is through the use of DNS. What is DNS? DNS is your domain name server. It is basically the phone book of the internet. What happens is just like how you have all the phone numbers in your phone stored in your phone book, DNS server has all the domain names that are used on the server. So how my MTA is able to know how to reach Paystack is my MTA collects the message. On the message ID, there is the address I'm sending it to. vera@paystack.com. Now, my mail transfer agent now goes to the internet, goes to the DNS, and it's like, what is the MX record for paystack.com? Now, the MX record is just the mail record that gives you the domain name. And then the DNS now says, oh, it is mail.paystack.com. What happens next? It now says, okay, what is the IP address of mail.paystack.com? And then the DNS now responds, it is 10.192.168.5. So by the time the DNS responds with the IP address, the message will now be delivered to that particular IP address, and then it will be retrieved by the MUA. Now, before I get into email investigation tools, I want to talk about, I want to talk about the few things I mentioned earlier. Now, I'm going to focus on phishing emails because they are the most prevalent. I mean, we heard of the Uber hack that happened a few days ago, and that was just an example of a phishing email. Now, phishing is a fraudulent attempt to obtain sensitive information such as usernames, password, credit card details, etc., by disguising oneself as a trustworthy entity in an email. Now, we have different types of phishing emails. We have deceptive phishing, we have spear phishing, we have whaling, and then we have from compromised or weaponized accounts. Now, why are phishing emails dangerous? Many hacking activities usually start with a phishing email. Whether you accept it or not, that is a fact. Most of the hacking activities that go on in the world now start with a phishing email. Why? Because they are preying on human beings and our weakness. I'm sure if you've attended many cybersecurity conferences or events, you've heard them say that human beings are the weakest link in security. So it's easier to always hack the human than to penetrate into the system. Now, attackers are able to steal sensitive and confidential information through emails, and they can copy the address books and also send new phishing emails to your fellow employees or to the people that are around you. And they can also reuse the hacked email for another phishing mail. If I hack into your email and I use it to perform a phishing attack, I can still use it to perform another one and concurrently continue the same activity. Now, malicious attachments sometimes have hidden scripts inside them, which are called macros. So whenever you get a suspicious document being sent to you from an unknown source, sometimes it is carrying hidden scripts inside it, and when you open it, it executes those scripts on your system and maybe downloads a malicious software without your knowledge. Those are things like Trojans and other malware. I spoke about Trojans in the pre-bootcamp, so I'm sure you remember what it is. Attackers may also read, modify, and steal encrypted data through phishing attacks, and they can move laterally in a network to access the organization's database. And I will still refer to the Uber
Hi, Mika.
hack because...
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Are you currently sharing your screen?
Oh, no, I'm not.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So they said you are too fast. Maybe you should, for people that are jotting, right?
Okay. Okay. I'll slow down. So I'll move to victim profile. I said there are different kinds of victims when it comes to phishing attacks. Now, our victim profiles are number one, business emails. I will still refer back to the Uber hack because it was through an employee they were able to gain access into the network. And through that employee means they're able to traverse into the network and steal data. Now, college students, we have employees, we have government officials, we have journalists, political organizations, employees of companies that work closely with the federal government. We have customers of companies that also work closely with the federal government. Their targets may be the federal government, and then they go through people that interact with the federal government. Okay. Then we have telecommunication companies as well. Now, I'm done listing out the victim profiles and top targets for phishing emails. I'll now move to how do you recognize a phishing email? How to recognize a phishing email. First of all, we have strange names and email addresses. There are some emails that when you receive, you don't recognize the names from anywhere, and they sound out of this world, or people you've never met before, people you don't think should be sending you those emails. That is a sign of a phishing email. We have hidden malicious links under the links. So it's always important for you to hover through your links and find out what is under it before you click on it. We have tricky words such as urgent, executive, admin, mandatory, all those things that make you feel like they're in a hurry or there's an authority over you. It is a sign of a phishing mail. We have low resolution images. And we have generic greetings like hello sir or hello ma'am. Most companies nowadays don't do that. They refer you to your first name, the ones that you register with. And we have big deals and exciting deals like win a free phone or win a free laptop. Those are examples of fish baits. Then we have job openings, we have requests for personal or financial information. This is the most prominent because most times they are not just after you to just say hi, they're after you to get something from you. And it's always something that will benefit them, which can be your personal or your financial information. Then we have attachments, documents, files, etc. Threatening words, and I've mentioned that. Okay, so now we're going to do a demo on how we are going to investigate a phishing attack. Before then, let me open it and share the screen. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes, you can see
Okay.
your screen.
Yes, I can.
So if you follow me on
Yes.
Twitter, yesterday I made a tweet about someone that sent me an email saying I'm her sister and she wants me to help her. Anyway, I'll read it out. And I just thought about it yesterday and I'm like, okay, let's investigate it together. So I saw this email yesterday. It's still in my spam. It's from Mrs. Ali, and the Google has already flagged it as unsafe, but it says, from Mrs. Fatima, my dearest, I sent this letter to you a month ago, but I'm not sure if you received it. Since I have not heard from you, this is the reason why I repeat it again due to the urgency of the matter. Let me start by introducing myself properly to you. I am Mrs. Fatima Melissa, a citizen of Turkey. I am an elderly widow who suffers from a prolonged illness, cancer, and I am currently admitted to a private hospital. I have funds I inherited from my late loving husband, Dr. Ali, which he deposited $30.5 million in a bank before his death after COVID. And I need a very honest and caring individual that can use these funds for the work of charity and 30% of the funds for their compensation, blah, blah, blah. Thank you, your sister, Melissa Fatima. Now, before I carry on, I already mentioned the signs or the things you should look out for in this email. And I just need two people to tell me two different things that they have noticed from what I've read. Just two people, and then we'll carry on. You can just say it in the comments. I'm watching.
Tricky words.
Okay, tricky words like
Using 30% of the proceedings for yourself.
okay. Another person,
Urgency.
Yes, sense of
The sense of
urgency.
urgency.
Yes.
Yes, she said her husband died and she needs, I don't know how it is affecting her health, but she says she needs somebody to help her out with it. Anyway, so we're going to start the investigation now. And then before we start, there are three important, okay. Okay, so there are three important parts of an email before you carry out your investigation. I mean, there's the email header, the email body, and the signing. So the email header carries the most information. That is where the concern is supposed to be. And then the email body just gives you intel. I mean, this email doesn't really have much because it's just a distinct. But we'll be investigating the header of this email now. And then we'll start from how to view the header. So to view the header, you go, can you all see my screen?
As you can see.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. So to view the email header now, you click on these three dots here where there is more, and then you go to show original. Now, this is the original. So the sender was reading Mrs., but this is the original email. In fact, the swindler is not even smart because they could not even spoof an email and send and make it look like it was from her. Why would Mrs. Ali be sending me an email with Abraham Kevin's email address? But anyway, so another thing I didn't mention was grammatical errors. Sometimes grammatical errors always give away attackers. And I don't know if this grammar is correct, but your sister doesn't really make sense to me as a subject. So you have the message ID.
It's already catchy enough.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you. So you have your message ID. This is the time it was created and sent to me. In fact, I want to even show you something. Okay, I already have it opened here, so let me go back. She said she sent me a message a month ago, but she's not sure if I received it, which she actually did, but it was not even up to a month ago. It was like last week. So the attacker is not even using sense in what he or she is doing, because I don't know. So we have all these things here, and I know it looks a bit bogus, but it's just, you know, a few of these things that actually make sense in our investigation. So the from area is where the message is coming from. He said it's Mrs. Ali, but we know that the original sender is Abraham Kevin 423 at gmail.com. Now that's one thing that you should note. It is not Fatima or it is not Mrs. Ali that is sending it. It's Abraham Kevin that is sending it. And it's possible that Abraham Kevin's email was used as for an SMTP relay. Now, SMTP relay works in such a way that you might not be aware of it, but someone is using your email to send messages to other people. That's why in some cases you see that you see strange people responding to your email. It has happened to me personally. And then you're like, I never texted this person, I never sent this person an email, but you are unaware that, you know, your email is being used for an SMTP relay. So they will use your email to send a message to somebody, but they don't have to be in your system. It happens, and I think Google has actually implemented security policies to solve it, because last time I wanted to simulate a phishing email in the organization where I worked in, I was able to use my personal email for an SMTP relay, but I tried doing it a few days ago and they said Google has stopped those kind of activities, or you need administrative permission or something like that. So that's good progress. And then delivered to, so they said it was delivered to me, but if you look at this place, I just want to make something clear before we go back. You can see that where to is subject your sister, where to is it shows undisclosed recipients, meaning that I was not the only recipient. And furthermore, you can see that it was BCC'd, meaning I was one of the many people that the attacker tried to send it to. So somebody did not sit down and take his time to compose this mail, or she did not sit down and take her time to compose this mail and send it across to me. Instead, she just used maybe a set of harvested mails and then sent it across to all of us. Now let's go back to this thing. So we're going to look for the return path now. The return path is what tells you who the original sender is. If the return path is not the same with the from, by the from, I mean this name here. Forget about this one. This name here. If the return path is not the same with this name here, then you know that the email was spoofed, or the person was trying to spoof the email. But this person did not even use sense. So as you can see here, she even stopped at Mrs. She didn't add Mrs. Ali. And the return path shows us what? The return path shows us Abraham Kevin 423@gmail.com. So we have confirmed that Abraham Kevin is the person that sends this email, and it is not Mrs. Ali. So apart from the return path, another important thing we need to check is the authentication protocols. Under the authentication protocols, we have DKIM and BMAC. We have SPF as well. Sender policy framework, that's SPF. SPF is the authentication protocol that helps to identify that there is actually a sender like that. So you cannot just send a message to me and say, I am Cristiano Ronaldo 123@gmail.com. SPF will flag it as that particular email does not exist. So SPF allowed it pass because obviously Abraham Kevin 423 exists under the Gmail domain. Then DKIM is domain keys identified mail, which is used to authorize the domain, and it came under the domain gmail.com, which was a pass as well. Now, we're going to take the IP address. Sorry, let me find it. Now, our received IP SPF came from 209.85.220.41, and then we're going to investigate it. Okay, let me share my other screen so we can investigate it together. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Now I can share my screen. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to use, I think they're the same thing. We're going to use abuse IPDB.com. Now, abuse IPDB is where you go to search for IP addresses and check their status. So I'll search for, this is the IP address that I got from our received SPF. Look at it. google.com, domain of abrahamkevin.com, designate 209.85.220.41 as the permitted sender. So I'll go to abuseip.com and then I'll search for 209.85.220.41. So let's check. Okay, so Abuse IPDB says the domain was found in their database. It has been reported 1,579 times, and the confidence of abuse is 0%. I wonder why. So it gives you these details now. The ISP is Google, because it is a Gmail server. The user type is data center, blah, blah, okay. Host name, mailsorf41.google.com. And country is from the United States of America. The city in particular is Mountain View, California. So the attacker is probably not from there, but maybe using a VPN or something. Important note, it is an IP address from within our benign crawler whitelist. We confidently believe it is not a bad report, that's a lie. So let's find the abuse reports now. These are the reports people are giving from on this IP address. His most recent report was 5 hours ago, meaning it's still crawling around sending people malicious emails. Now we have a report from here saying it is phishing, email spam, spoofing. All of them are reporting for the same thing, as you can see. Phishing, email spam, email scam, email spam, and so on. So that is our first thing. Then secondly, we'll go to virus total. So let me, okay. Can you all see what I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't see it, so it's blank.
Mine is blank too.
This side is showing a white screen here.
White screen?
It's very
Yeah,
blank.
yes,
Just blank.
It's blank now.
Okay.
Just showing white screen.
It's actually blank. Please do something about it.
Okay. Give me a sec.
I get the speaker is no longer available with us here, but let's hold on. Maybe our network at a glitch.
Okay, can you all see the screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'll be searching for after using Abuse IPDB, there are also different tools that you can also use to search for. Abuse IPDB is not the only web tool you can use to search for their score. You can use Cisco TAC, which is a threat intelligence agency for Cisco. This thing LLC. Then you can use globalsitesafety.com, and there are other this thing. But I'm going to be using IP quality score now. So let's look for IP quality score. Okay. Detect abusive bots. Looking for this. Okay, this two has to be. Let's use this for tag then. Okay, so now it gives you a reputation lookup. I wanted to explain what a reputation, your email reputation is. Now, online, each and every one of us that has an email has a reputation score online. It is ranging from 1 to 10, from 5 to 10 meaning your email is safe, and then from 4 below, it means that your email is unsafe, meaning your reputation score online is not good. Now, what Talos does is they gather information over the years. They've gathered it and they're still gathering it on all the emails that are being sent on the internet. So if your email is being used for malicious activities and people have been reporting it, your score is always dropping. So it's important to take some time and check, for your information online and know if you have a good score or a bad score. But for now, we're searching for the IP. Okay. What's the IP again? 209.85.220.49. Let's see what they have to give us. 85.220.49. Okay. Enter. Let's see. Okay. So this is what Cisco Tag has to say about the IP address. Location, United States, owner details. The same thing that we saw. Hi.
Should it be 49 or 41?
49. Okay. Sorry, thank you. It's 41. Thank you for that observation. Okay, so it says the email volume is 5.6 over 10. Volume change 0%, meaning it has been going on. And then spam level is very high. So obviously there's been many reports about it. It has been listed under blspamcorp.net and it has been blocked. And these are all the reputation scores that have been provided from the subdomains. So I just use this to confirm that what we got from Abuse IPDP was authentic information. So next, I'm going to be investigating. An email that actually has a malicious link in it. This one does not, and it's important to always investigate the body. So now we've done the header, and then I'm going to be sharing another window that has an email that actually has, okay, so let me share it now. Okay. So can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Now this is my spam, and these emails have been, look at this email. Hello, Facebook user. In attempt to ensure your experience is enjoyable, we have developed a new feature just for you. Sounds interesting, right? Kindly ensure you click the link below to update your account quickly. Failure to do so. Anyway, so there's the sense of urgency, and they cannot even spell Facebook. Send using Guerrilla Mail. Guerrilla Mail is a disposable mail service. It is not an authentic mail service. So it's obviously someone trying to send out spam mails. So we're going to now check for the body of the message. So that's the link is carrying. I'm going to copy the link here, and then I'm going to go to virustotal.com. VirusTotal lets you search for, if you see a document in your email, you can download it, or you don't need to even open it. Just put it on VirusTotal and check for the reputation. You can also search for URLs as well, which is what I'll be doing. Okay, so this is the URL. Let's see what virus. Wow. So now VirusTotal says 21 security vendors have flagged this URL as malicious and lists all of them. Phishing. I don't know about these clean ones, but phishing. Meaning of recent, this particular domain or this particular URL has been sent to a lot of people, and they've been flagged on different levels. I also check global site safety. Okay, no, I won't be checking that. That's it. So these are if you want to investigate your personal emails. That's emails that are coming to you. These ones are not really hard to do. We also have, let me share my screen and continue my presentation. We also have, in the case where you work in a corporate organization and you have, like, I once worked in the email security team of my organization, and I enjoyed it so much because it was always fun getting to see the new tactics that the attackers were using every day. Okay. Can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So now, for corporate organizations, they use mostly all-in-one tools. Those are generic tools that actually do all the work for you. So you don't have to search for this thing in one place. You don't have to do search for the reputation in another place. Most of these tools do all the work. An example is the Cisco ESA, which I'm very prominent with. The Cisco email gateway is used in the organization to handle all the email connections, accepting and relaying them to the appropriate systems. And it gives many protection capabilities by leveraging on intelligence from Cisco Talos, which we just came from. I said Cisco Talos is threat intelligence department of Cisco that are actively doing their research and updating the world on the new threats that are coming up. So this is the email pipeline, meaning this is what the email goes through before it is permitted to go into an employee or a user's inbox. So if I'm sending an email to Segun now, before the email enters Segun's inbox, it has to go through this pipeline. Now, what consists of the pipeline? We have the receipt phase, the work queue, and the delivery phase. Under the receipt phase, we have where the SMTP connection is formed. Now, I would have loved to practicalize all these, but we have very limited time, and I just want to explain how it works. And most of these tools are mostly paid tools. In fact, all that I know of for corporate organizations. So in the receipt phase, SMTP connection is formed. I said SMTP was the messenger, and there has to be like a handshake between my MTA and then the recipient's MTA, or let's say my MUA and your MUA. SMTP connection is formed so that the message can be sent across. The sender's reputation, which I explained, is checked. So what is this person's reputation online? Is he known for sending malicious mails? Is he known for sending good mails or trusted mails? Then I have recipient domain verification. I have recipient domain verification. That's to check if the domain you're sending it to exists. When it passes through the email pipeline, it then goes to the work queue. Now, under the work queue, we have all these systems integrated in one solution. So one tool has all these things in it. We have the anti-spam, which checks for spam emails, antivirus, which checks for viruses in files, advanced malware protection, which is mainly for files that carry malware. Now there's a server in the cloud that actually stores all the files that pass through the internet and their reputation. So it passes through it and it's like, is this file safe? And if it's something we have not seen before, then we save it and research on it, and then we give information later. Then we have gray mail, which are advertisement mails, content filters, and outbreak filters for outbreak attacks that just come up. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So after it goes through the work queue, we now have the delivery phase. The delivery phase is if the email passes through all these things and it successfully passes them without being flagged or without being quarantined, the email will now be delivered to the recipient's inbox. So this is how all the security and email security tools work to investigate. In case any email does not make it past, let's say, the antivirus here, it will never ever get to the recipient, and then it is stored in the quarantine. Then the security researcher or the employee can now go to the quarantine, retrieve the email, and now see what the problem was according to what it is being flagged for. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for attending. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Thank you very much, Nanbaan. Very insightful.
Thank you very much, Nanbaan. I really appreciate it. It has been very good.
Thank you, Nanbaan. I really enjoyed your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Please, I have a question.
Oh, good evening. I'm sorry, my network threw me out. Can somebody update me? What's going on? Where is Nanbaan?
She has finished her presentation.
Oh, she has finished. Okay, just give us a sec. Oh, she's done. Give us a sec. The next speaker, the next facilitator. Thank you. You did a great job. The next facilitator will take the stage. Just give us 1 to 2 minutes.
Okay. Please, I have a question, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, good. I have an email address that receives phishing email every day. I want to know how can I do to stop to receiving malicious mail, please.
You said what? You have a email that you use to receive phishing email every day.
Yes, it's that.
Now, the question is, where do you what platforms, what websites, what where do you normally put your email? When you are throwing your email everywhere, you will be thrown to a lot of phishing emails. I don't know if you
Yes.
get. So reduce the amount of websites you sign on, or the amount of applications you sign on with your email, where you are throwing your email. Well, places you are not supposed to drop your email, you are dropping. People really are. I don't know how to put it down. That's very rampant with people. Before they do one giveaway like this, a lot of people would have dropped email, a lot of people would have dropped phone number, and these things, they are collecting those emails, those phone numbers, so that they can use it for social engineering. So if you are having too much of phishing emails, too much of, it means that you are registering on malicious websites, on sites that are not safe, right? So reduce the amount of websites or where you just drop your email and just register. People are very, very, they do that a lot. So please, that is the solution. There's no other solution. There's no way you can say, oh, I want to block this, I want to block that, except if that email is like part of an organization's domain, right? That's when they will implement SPF. She talked about that, the mark and the rest of them to block unwanted. But for your personal email, it is you that will take the responsibility to make sure that you don't just put your email everywhere. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I want to ask, is Nanbaan back on this call? Nanbaan, are you back? Okay, she's not back. Just give us a second. Okay, so yeah, our next speaker is Veronica Peter. So I'm going to read her profile and then she's going to start her session. She's already on call. I thought she has not joined, right? She's already on call, right? Okay. Veronica Peter is a CyberGirl alumni. We all know CyberGirl, right? That's a fellowship initiative created by Cyberspace Foundation to empower ladies, girls, female figures in cybersecurity. And she's a proactive junior cybersecurity analyst with in-demand cyber defense skills. She's passionate about protecting organizations' IT infrastructures, and she strives to become better at it each day. And Veronica Peters will be taking us memory dump, RAM analysis and investigation. Don't worry, when she starts, you'll be able to understand what RAM, memory dump, what it is, and how to go about investigating, analyzing it in order to protect an organization, in order to draw insights, draw evidence, for you to respond to incidents in an organization. Yeah, so Veronica Peters, you have the floor.
Okay,
Good day, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is
Good
Veronica.
evening.
So, Mr. Segun already introduced me. So, I'll be taking you guys on memory dump analysis and investigation, also known as memory forensics. So, I'll be taking you guys on memory forensics today, and I'll be doing that in collaboration with Abdulrahman Oyekunle. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the bootcamp so far. And I'll get started now. So basically, memory forensics is like a major part of another field entirely, is a major part of digital forensics and incident response. I don't know if you have heard of DFIR, that's digital forensics and in an incident response. So it's a major part of digital forensics that deals with the acquisition and analysis of a computer's volatile memory. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, good. So basically, memory forensics deals with the acquisition and the analysis of a computer's volatile memory. So in this session, I'm going to be using lots of technical terms, but I'll try my best to break down the terms so that we can all flow. So a volatile memory is simply the RAM. I'm sure you guys must have heard of RAM, maybe during your school days, something like that. So it's like, it stands for random access memory. And it's basically, the RAM is like a short-term memory. It's where the computer stores everything that you are doing on your system. Is being stored on the RAM. So the RAM is a volatile memory. That is to say, it doesn't retain permanent data. It is a kind of memory that once you shut down your system, it is gone. But so far as your system is on, you have everything that has been going on your system is being stored there. So your OS, your application programs, whatever thing you are doing on your computer is being stored somewhere in your memory, and that's the random access memory. So take for instance, you want to log into a website, and on the website, you have to like provide your user credentials like email and password before you get access to the site. Now, you imputing your username and your password in that site, everything is going to be stored on your RAM, on the random access memory, so that the processor can be able to work with it, and then you'll be able to like have access to the site. It needs to be processed. So it's going to be stored in the random access memory, then the processor can process it, and then you can go ahead to access your site. So basically, what we are going to be doing today is analysis and acquisition of this RAM memory so that we can use it for investigations. So you might be asking, why do you even need to analyze a RAM? What's the point? What's the need? Now let me tell you something. Because there are lots of juicy information, lots of interesting information that you can find on your RAM. Remember, I said everything that you do on your computer, whatever a user does on the system, is being stored in the RAM. So be it the processes you are running, whatever sites you are visiting, your browser history, your network connections, everything can be found in the RAM. And you know, there is also like a kind of malware that resides in the RAM. Like, you can also use your RAM, your random access memory, to detect malware that resides in the RAM. So there are some kind of malware that they don't reside on the hard disk drive, like on your computer, the hard drive of your computer. And this is because they want to avoid detection from tools like antiviruses that you install on your system. So because those malwares, sorry, do you guys know what malwares are, or should I explain?
We know what they
Yeah, I know
have.
what
malware.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So those malwares reside in the memory instead of the hard disk drive so that they can avoid detection from tools like antiviruses. Now with tools like volatility is a tool that is used for memory forensics. So everything I'm saying here, we're going to be doing it on one tool. The analysis is going to be done on volatility. Now with volatility, you'll be able to like analyze the memory to detect whether there is a malware on your system. So this topic is really, really interesting and one that can really help organizations. So forensic investigators, you've heard of cyber attacks. Like every day there are news of new cyber attacks, and there are like blogs, cyber blogs and articles that you see online. So people will come and be explaining to you how the attack happened and all that. How did they know how the attack happened if they are not the one that actually performed the attack? It is through forensic investigation. So this topic is quite interesting because lots of juicy information can be gotten from your RAM, which we'll be analyzing today. So let me just go on. Memory forensics is basically divided into two parts, and that's memory acquisition and memory analysis. So anytime you hear me saying memory or memory dump or memory file, I'm talking about the same thing. I'm referring to the RAM, to the volatile memory. Everything is referring to the same thing. So basically, memory forensics deals with two steps. That's memory acquisition and memory analysis. Now, before you can analyze the memory, you have to acquire it. That's the first step of memory forensics. So there are lots of tools out there that you can use to acquire memory of your system. So I think I'll share my screen now so I can show you guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I said for memory acquisition, like to perform your memory forensics, you have to first acquire the memory, the RAM. You have to capture the memory. You have to capture your memory dump of your system. Then you take that file, the memory that you have acquired, you take it to volatility to analyze, and then you get your evidences. Like you begin to extract IOCs, indicators of compromise, artifacts, and different information that can tell you exactly what happened and how an attack happened on your system. So this is like, okay, for organizations, like it's not only done for like malware investigation. Organizations can also use memory forensics as like a proactive way to detect if their system has signs of compromise or infection, or detect user behaviors like their employees. You've heard of insider threats. So they can actually use it to find out what the employees in their organization are doing, and are there insider threats, things like that. So let me just move on. So for acquiring your volatile memory, for acquiring your memory dump, we're going to be making use of a tool called FTK Imager. So if you go to your browser and you type in FTK Imager downloads for Windows, so it's a tool that we can use to acquire or capture the memory of our system, but it is specifically for Windows system, operating system. So you go to your browser and you type in FTK Imager download for Windows, and you click on the first thing you see here, like the first link. That's where you click on. When you click on it, is going to take you to the page where you can download the tool from. So it's loading. Yeah, so you just scroll down. And over here, you see FTK Imager version 4.5. You just download it to your system. And once you download it, okay, I already have it installed on my system, so I cannot download it again. But I'll just walk you guys through how you can do it on your own. So once you download it and you go to the folder where you downloaded it to, it will most likely be in your downloads folder. So you go there. If you want to leave it there, you leave it in your downloads folder. If you want to move it to your desktop, because I moved mine to my desktop. Let me show you guys. So this is my FTK Imager on my desktop. So you can move it here. Then you go to the folder where you have it. Then you click on it. You install it. They are going to ask you if you want to like accept. They are going to show you like their license, their terms and conditions. Then if you want to accept it, fine. If you don't want to accept it, you say no. But once you don't accept it, you wouldn't be able to like download the tool. So it's a safe tool, so you can go ahead to agree and finish the installation. Just click next or through, and then you are fine. You are good to go, and you have it installed already. So after that, you go to, after installing it, you open the tool, you launch it. So I'm just going to launch mine now. It's a bit slow, but it's coming up. So it's a bit slow. Let's just be patient with me. I don't know why it's taking so long to load. It's loading. You can see this thing rolling. It's still loading. I don't know why it's taking so much time. Yes, finally. So we have it opened already. So once you have it opened, what you want to do is come to this file up here. You click on the file, and then you see a list of images, but what we are really concerned about at this point is capturing our memory. So you see this option that says create this image. You click on it, and then it's going to ask you to select the source evidence type. That's where you want to store the memory after it's been captured, where you want to store it. So if you want if you are choosing a physical disk, okay, I would advise you that when you want to capture your memory, you shouldn't store it on that same machine, like the machine you are capturing the memory of. You shouldn't store the file on that same machine. You should get an external device, like a USB drive. You should get it, and then you insert it to your computer, and then you select the physical drive. If you select the logical drive, what it's going to do is that it's either going to overwrite the file. Yeah, so it's going to overwrite traces of evidence in the file, or it's not going to actually work. Because when you're capturing the memory of your system, it's like you're capturing the entire RAM of your system. So if you check your system's RAM, okay, let me check mine and show you guys. So go to your start menu, and if you go to system, yeah. Yeah, so the installed RAM on my PC is 8 gigabytes. Now, whenever you're capturing your memory file, the file size is going to be the same as your installed RAM. So it's going to be 8 gigabytes if I'm capturing my memory. And let's say, for instance, you don't have up to 8 gigabytes of storage remaining on your computer. It's not going to work. So you need an external drive where you can save the file. And you can see from here, I have 8 gig of installed RAM, but I have only 5.88 gigabytes that is usable. So it's not going to work if I want to store the file on the system. So I have to use a physical external device like a USB drive. So you want to make sure you have a USB drive that you're going to use for capturing your memory. So you select the physical drive. Okay, in my case here, I already have the file that we're going to be analyzing today. So I don't even need to capture any file. I just want to show you guys how you can capture a file on your own. So you select the physical drive and you click next. You click finish. Click on add. And yes, memory files will most likely be in .raw format. So you want to leave it at raw dd. Yeah, you select this raw dd. You forget about the rest here and just click next. So you give the memory capture file a case number. So in my case, I'll just call it 001. And evidence number, I'll just give it today's date. So 17 09 2022. Description of the file. We just say memory capture. Examiner, you write your name, Mr. XYZ. You can leave this and just click next. So you can browse the destination folder where you want it to be in. I'll just store mine here. It's not going to work anyways because I don't have up to that amount of storage on my PC. I just want to show you guys. Your file name, you want to make sure you give your file name a descriptive name of what your system is, so that during your analysis, you'll be able to like identify when determining your profile for your analysis. You wouldn't find it difficult. So you come here to your system information. Remember how I did it? I went to my menu, I right-clicked, and I went to system. That's how I got here. So from here, you can see that I have 8 gig of RAM. And you can see that this is a Windows 10 Pro. And this is a 64-bit system. Now, that's all the information we need. So you just come back and give your file a descriptive name. So I'll just name mine Windows 10 Pro times 64 bits operating system and 8 gig of storage. 8 gig. So yeah, you just click finish when you're done. You click finish and you see mine is not even able to do because I don't have enough storage. So that's just it. So once you are done with all those steps, you have your memory file captured already. Now let's move to Linux and start analyzing. So you guys already installed VirtualBox on the pre-bootcamp, and I'm sure you have Kali running by now. So we're using Kali for my analysis. So you just go to your terminal. Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Now, remember I said FTK imager is for capturing memory files on a Windows system. So that means if you're capturing a file on another operating system like Linux, you're not going to be using FTK imager. You're going to be using another different tool entirely. So if you want to capture a memory file of a Linux system, we are going to be using a tool called AVML. So to download this tool, so AVML does like what FTK imager does to capture file. But the thing is, if AVML is a tool created by Microsoft for Linux system. So it's basically just for Linux for capturing memory. So you want to go to the GitHub page of Microsoft and go to AVML. I'm going to drop the links to all this to get all this tools so you can use it maybe on your own later on. So I'm going to drop it later on. So if you scroll down, you're going to see a summary about what the tool is about. So you can see it's a portable volatile memory acquisition tool for Linux. So you can read it later on your own because we don't have much time. Basically, it just captures memory. So you want to come over to the releases session and scroll down. You will see different releases over here, but the one we are going to be using, the one we are going to be downloading is this first one, this one that's just AVML. So you click on it. So when you click on it, it's going to ask you to save the file if you want to save the file. So saving the file means you are downloading the file to your system, but I already have this installed on my system also, so I'm not going to be saving it. But once you have it, once you download it, you come to your terminal over here and okay. So once you save it, you want to go to your terminal and it's going to be in your downloads folder since you downloaded it. So it's going to be in your downloads folder. You can move it over to your desktop or you leave it in your downloads folder. So mine is on my desktop. So you want to cd into that directory that it is saved in. So mine is in my desktop. So I'm going to be cding to my desktop. And then use ls-la to view the long list of like what is in this directory, what is in the desktop directory. So you can see I already have my AVML installed here. So this is my AVML. Now you want to run this file. So if you run the file command with the tool, you are going to see that it is a 64-bit executable tool. That means if your system is 32 bits, if the file you want to analyze, the memory capture file you want to analyze is from a system that is 32 bits, it's not going to work. Yeah, so this is 64-bit executable file. So after doing, then you want to make sure you change the file and make it executable. So we're going to use the change mode command. So this command that I'm adding right here is just going to make sure the file is executable for us to run it. And then once you are done with this, you can go ahead to capture your memory. So let's run the file. It's an executable file. That's why we're having this // before writing the tool. Now you see, we've run the two, but they are telling us there's an error, that we did not specify any arguments to run with the file. So they are now showing us the usage. If you want to use the tool, you specify AVML and the name of the file, the memory file, you give it any name you want. So that's how to make use of the tool. So to capture the memory here, we're just going to type AVML, just like the usage we saw here. This is what we are going to be using. That this is the structure, this is the command we're going to be using here. So AVML and the file name. So you give the file any name you want to give it. Basically, you give it any name you want to give it. So I'm going to be giving my own memory to. I want to make sure the extension you are giving it is .dmp. So it's telling us command not found, but that's because I'm not using root privileges. So let me clear my screen so you guys can see it well. So we're going to be using root privileges sudo and try to run it again. So ask for the password of your system and you have to input it. So basically, okay, I see the error. Now remember, this is an executable file, so make sure you don't make the same mistake. You want to make sure you always have this dots and slash to run the file. And now we should capture the file. It should capture the memory of this Linux system. So if I have enough, it's going to capture it, but if I don't, it's not going to capture it. So basically, that's how you capture the memory of a Linux system. Now, let's move to the main, to analysis. Let's analyze the file for traces of evidence and list processes. So for that, we are going to be using volatility is
I'm no longer hearing.
Veronica, we can't hear you anymore. I think she's having network issues. Let's just wait. Let's just wait for some time. She will join us.
I think it's probably a system. She told me earlier that Abacha was something like that. So I'll just take it from here.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Please go ahead.
So my name is Abdulrahman Oyekunle. So I'm a cybersecurity researcher, and I love doing blue teaming stuff. Like, yeah, most times it's red teaming, but I do blue teaming just for passion and something like that. So I'll just take it from here. Let me share my screen. Okay. So okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. So now I'll continue with I'll just do a quick I'll just extract file, something like that. Not extract per se. I just want to create a memory dump right now that we can use for analysis. So what we'll be doing is we'll write a set of command lines, and we'll do a lot of things that will be captured in the memory. So we'll do them, then try to analyze them to see if we can get them back, so that you guys will be able to understand why this is this, why this is this, and stuff like that. So now, okay, let me just write a few commands here. Okay, let's start the ANO. You guys don't really need to know this. It's just the analysis. So just run these commands. Okay, let's minimize this. So I wrote a file to the hard disk, and I wrote a file to the RAM. So as it's open like this, we can assume that, yeah, the RAM is running it. It's running the application notepad. So yeah, we'll try to analyze it. So we'll also try to search for something and see if we can get it back. So let's search for, okay, and just use digital village. Let's search for it. Okay. Now let's minimize this. So now this is a remote access to Trojan. So it's a malicious software that looks like legitimate one that can take control of your system, and it can be used as a backdoor. So yeah, I have access to this particular system, so I can run anything on the system. So I'll be doing this. So we'll try to analyze and get what exactly is running and stuff like that. So when I start the analysis, you understand why I'm doing this. So this is a remote access Trojan. I hope you all know what Trojan is. So okay. So I'll just do a quick memory dump. Okay, let's just capture memory. So okay. I just browse for destination, just something simple. Okay. Yeah. Look at this. Okay. Yeah. Share. Okay. Capture memory. So because I allocated 2 gig RAM for this, so it's dumping the whole RAM 2 gig RAM. I just wait for a little bit. Okay, while it's still going on because of time, so we just go just come to our Kali. I hope you all have do you guys have Kali, I say Kali, volatility already? I hope you guys have it already. So we're using volatility the pi. Okay, let me exit this. Sorry. Let's exit. Okay, yeah. I'll be taking out to install volatility. So just wait. So while we are still at it, so we can just go around check to check the things we can do with volatility. You can just use the -H. Then okay. So now we have what we call plugins. Yeah, so it tells, so we have a lot of things you can use. You can extract context of the Windows clipboard. You can display process command lines. You can extract command history. We can print list of open connections. We can check post scanner for TCP connections. We can do a lot of things with this. We can check the registry. We can dump the registry. We can do a lot of things. And since it's a Python file, we can also write our own plugins too. So now we'll be going over these commands. Not everything, but say just the things we might need or will actually need during the analysis. So, okay, this is done already. So let me just go to get it in. Sorry. Okay. Sure. On 92.168.80.131. Okay. So I'll just get this name down. Okay, yeah, we've gotten it. Let me just exit. You can just go by one. So now, when you want to use volatility, okay. The first thing is you get the image profile, so you can continue your analysis because we have different operating systems and they have different ways of accessing the RAM and reading and writing memories to the RAM. So they have different ways. So you have to first check with the command we use. Okay, we'll use -f to mention before. We have main dump. I think that's the main dump. Okay, main dump. Then we use image info. Just wait for like a minute to check it. This is taking time. Okay, it's over now. So now without suggested profile, so we just start with this because most times you don't get a definite operating system, but we start with the first. We see what we can get with the first. If you can't get anything with the first, then we can move to the second. So now let's go ahead. The first thing when you're giving a memory dump to analyze, because when let's say you have you have a Yahoo Voice phone or a Yahoo Voice laptop, and you cannot work with the evidence you have. You cannot work with that. You have to create a dump. You cannot work with the person's laptop to see maybe the person is dubious or anything. You cannot work with it. So you have to get the dump. Then after getting dump, then you have to analyze it. So the first thing we do now is we check what was running on the RAM. So now in the case of DFIR, let's say there was an attack on a system, then you want to know how the attack happened and things like that, and what was done, things like that. So we'll check the process list, what is actually running. So we do vol.py, then we'll do PS list. It's taking time. Oh, sorry, I didn't specify. Sorry, I didn't specify. You have to specify the profile. That's why the profile is needed. Yeah. Now we have list of processes running. Let me make this bigger. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we have. I'm sorry. This should be better. So we have the time it started running. We have the process ID. We have the parent process ID. We have a lot of things you can get, and we have the offset. So now, okay, you can see we have our notepad running. The notepad where I wrote something on. Okay, this. Sorry, I said this should be saved to the RAM. I want to see maybe we can actually get this particular text with it. So now we have CMD running. We have our Internet Explorer running. So we have the ID, and we have our this is the Trojan I wrote, not wrote per se. The Trojan I clicked on, just the one I made to just the malicious malware. Let me put it that way. The malicious malware. Then let's check. We have other commands like PS3. So PS3 is just like PS list. It's just like PS, but difference is it makes it easier to see a parent process. Sorry, I forgot to put the profile again. PS3. Please always remember to put your profile. So we can see this is a parent process. So it is from this services.exe, it is running this, then it is running this. Then this svc host.exe is running this. So that's the way it is. We have okay, see, this was the malware I ran, the client.exe. It has a parent process, netsh. Netsh is for firewalls, so bypassing firewalls. So we have CMD running, we have the IE Explorer, like the Internet Explorer running. So now the thing is, sometimes you don't get hidden processes when you do the PS3 or the PS list. A command that can help you better is the PS scan. We have the PS scan. What it does is it can actually get you hidden processes. So, PS scan. Sorry, I missed an S here. So processes that you did not find in the other one, you find them not in the previous one. You can see it's not here. So hidden processes, let's say a malware is running and it has hidden processes. You can easily see them when you use the PS scan. So when you are doing your analysis, that you should not forget, you should take note of the PS scan. It's very important. So now let's go to as usual, don't forget your profile. Let's try to get what's researched for IE history to get the history of Internet Explorer or whatever browser you're using. Just okay. So this is it. So you see, so let's say it was a Yahoo's laptop you got, and you can easily check the process. I say processes. You can easily check the history to check the things the person has opened. So this was what I said for Digital Village. You can easily copy, and maybe it's a link to maybe a dating site or something. You know how your voice work and stuff like that. So now Bing.com, everything that was opened, literally everything that was opened in the. So let's go to the next command. So we even have cookies and things like that. Let's go to the next command. So we just try. Okay. So now let's see, maybe we can get whatever we wrote to Notepad. So now, since we have to do this, okay, since we've done our PS list, okay, let's take this. There's our notepad. Okay, we have our notepad here. We take the process ID. So what we want to do is we want to do a memory dump. We dump everything that this notepad.exe was running. We dump every single thing. So now to do this, we just, okay, let me just bring this up, okay. So now let's bring back our commands. So now we use mem dump. Mem dump, then we tell it -p. -p is for the PID, that's the process ID. Then we have -d to dump it. Then you now specify whatever file you want to dump it in or where you want to dump it in. So I'll just say in this directory, I want it to be dumped in this directory. So the dot there means the specific directory I'm in. Now you can just click on our enter. Okay, so now we've gotten our dump. So we can just I won't want to take our time. Time is going, time is fast spent already. So now we just use strings for this. Strings. So instead of going through all of these, so what I'll just do is I'll just search for, so to save time, I'll just search for that particular thing I wrote. So let me just search for, what is it, the exact thing I wrote? Okay, save to the RAM, save to. So I can just search for using grep. I can just search for saved greps. Let me use -i. -i is telling to ignore case in case there's capital letter there. So okay, let's see if there's. Okay, this was one I saved to the hard disk. So we got this already. Now let's try to go ahead and search for the one for. So now we can use what we call, okay, let's do a string help. So we can use the -l here. E. Okay, the encoding, you have to specify that we are using the little Indian. Yes, to get exactly what we got, because it is different bytes, different ways it's in which it's saved in the RAM. So we can just use strings -e, then we use the L for little Indian, and then we can now grep our save. -i to ignore case, then save. So going through. Let's see, get section. Let me just search for RAM instead. Things are a lot like this. Just search for RAM. Just grab built-in. Sorry. Save the RAM. Okay. Save the RAM. Okay, yeah, we got it. So now when you are doing analysis, you might not have a clue of what to find or something. It depends on exactly what's happening. So let's say it's a Yahoo Boys phone, you might want to search for things like format, client, and things like that, because sometimes it can be overwhelming. The amount of things you find, you have to start scrolling one by one and things like that, just checking them one by one. So now we'll go to analyzing the malware. That's for DFIR. When you're doing incident response, you know there's a process running that is not supposed to be running. SPS list. Okay. We know there's a process running, which is, let's say you're doing DFIR and we don't know that, yes, it was client.txt I ran. The malicious software I ran was client.txt. You can just scroll through, check for unfamiliar executables running, check for them. We have netsh. If you check the parent, this is the parent. If you see, okay, this is the process ID, then this is the parent process ID. So you can see that they are both linked. Client.exe, netsh.exe. So we can just go ahead to dump this. You want to dump the executable and then try to analyze it. So now let's clear. Okay. So now the thing is, we can use this command dump. Okay. Let's list it again. Sorry, I didn't get the process ID. To get the process ID. That's there. Okay. No, it's just taking time to there. Dump. Then dash P, the PID, then dash T dot. It's just like the previous command. So now we've gotten our client.exe, we've gotten the executable. Then we can now go ahead to do reverse engineering to understand what exactly the executable is doing on the system. And we can also go to virustotal.com for a quick analysis. Let's try to upload it. Hopefully this doesn't take time. Well, this is still loading, so we just go over other commands. So we can also do, oh, I didn't save anything to clipboard. So we can use the clipboard to search for things that were saved on the clipboard. Well, I don't actually save anything on clipboard, so you shouldn't get anything, you shouldn't even expect anything. Now just know that this command, so whatever is saved on the clipboard, just copy, let's say you just copy, it's saved to the clipboard already, so you can just use clipboard to check. There might be things, and you can also do what we call hash dump to get the password hash of the computer, hash dump. So now from here we have the admin hash. Then we can go ahead to crack this. We have the guest hash. We have pentest, which is the user's hash. Then we can go ahead to crack it if you like. Okay, this as a fun. So now let's go ahead. Let's see it. Okay, I think. Okay, this is it. Confirm. Just let it analyze it then. Okay, you can say it is malicious, corrupt. You can see a lot about it. Yeah, say malicious. This is malicious, malicious, malicious. So you definitely know that this is exactly what it is. So now we want to see what it's actually communicating. See it here, a Trojan, it's a Trojan. You can check the details. You can check the behavior. Okay, there's nothing here. Then you can go ahead to do reverse engineering after doing this, after knowing its malicious, to see exactly what it's doing. Because that's what reverse engineering is all about. Just trying to get the idea behind a software, something like that. So, okay. Okay, that's strong. Oh, sorry. So now we can go ahead to check what is actually happening, the connections. We can use connections to check what is connected to our system. Maybe they're trying to control it remotely. Sometimes these connections won't work. Yeah, the command does not support this. Then you can use net scan instead to check for connections. Net scan. I think it's almost. So we can see a lot of listening ports, but the things we should look out for is okay, you can see because we connected to this was the IP address. I think this is Bing. This is our own IP address connecting to Bing. Then yeah, using the Internet Explorer. So you can go ahead to search for clients.exe. This is the malicious one. So you can try to see. I actually use local host. Let's say if the person was controlling from a remote area, you should be able to get the IP address here. Then you can go ahead to check rates from and things like that. So now, but for now, I won't be talking about that. So okay, we can still do. Right, finish all this. It's almost time. So I won't be able to explain every single thing. You can just go ahead to check the things you can do in the help, the amount of things you can do. So we have PX3, you can screenshot, save it, you do screenshots. You can do a lot of things literally. So I'll just go through one last command. This is for registry. The registry is like a database that it saves the settings, it saves a lot of information about system, softwares. So that's what it does. So we can just, okay, use the command hive list. Okay, so we have a lot of things here that I won't be able to explain every single thing here. So now to pick a sub, talking about it. Okay, yeah, we can actually pick a particular one. Let's say you want to see what this is about. You can just pick the offset of this. You can just so you can use add dump. Then dash O the offset. Then dash T. Oh, sorry. I just want to print the keys. So okay, these are the settings and everything you can find. So you can see we have block group, we have device connected, we have device disconnect, we have fax error, we have a lot of things you can get here. We have notification. These are all app events that you can get. So I think I'll just stop here. My time is up already. So I'll just stop here. So you can just go over, check things you can do. It's still going on. And just stop it. To stop it, you can just use the Control C. Control C to stop it. Let me just clear. So I'll just stop here for now. So just don't forget you can go back and do Control H if you forget any command. So we have things you can do. You can just check print a registry key, its subkeys and value. dump VD sections. We can do a lot of things. A lot of things we can do. So any questions? Do you have any questions? Yes. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maybe that was a very great one, and thank you for stepping in. Okay, so we will move to the next. Don't worry, your questions. We'll find time tomorrow, or maybe before the next person finishes. Okay, let's just take like 1 or 2 questions before I call up the next person. 1 or 2 questions. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask it.
Yeah, I think Kingsley is raising Kingsley and Godwin and Burma. I think Kingsley.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, boss.
Yeah, let me.
I can't hear you clearly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So let me first appreciate the organizers of this bootcamp. So far, so good. I actually particularly enjoyed today's session. Now, to my question, to my question, of course, there's still need to get the video and maybe we still fill up some gaps with doing personal browsing, but I was able to go through the general concept. Now,
I
in
can't
the
hear you clearly.
initial. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
I was
hear
saying
you.
the initial speaker made us understand that memory dump and the analysis has to do with the volatile memory. That's the RAM. Now, my question is.
Yes, exactly.
My question is, 1, does it mean that maybe when the PC is shut down or when it has been shut down, this memory analysis cannot be done since the RAM is meant to go off
Yes.
or shut down as well? Okay, then 2, if this is RAM analysis that is meant to, happen on a live PC that the RAM is still on, how is it possible to get this to capture this RAM while the PC is on? Let's say let's say an organization is trying to, let's say law enforcement is trying to analyze the PC of the bad guys, for instance. How are they able to capture their memory, considering that they are not at the same location at the point in time?
No, the thing is they cannot access it without physical access to it or a remote access. They cannot. Let me answer your first question. Yeah, your first question is you asked that the RAM, that once you shut it down, it should. Exactly, that's it. Once you shut it down and restart it, everything goes off. Except the ones that just like the remote access Trojan, the one I did. That one, since it's persistent, you will still get it back. So it is mostly used for DFIR. When you're doing DFIR in a company, let's say they already breach or something, and they have a connection to the system. So you still get it there, but you can also check the events. You check the event logs. I didn't even take the event part. So you can check the event logs too, because the event logs will still stay. So things that you've done and everything, you can check them. And for the second question, yes, you said how do they do it? They need physical access. They need physical access or remote access to the person's system. Because we also have remote access tools that we can use. Not remote access tools per se, command line tools that we can use to do memory dump, like dump it for Windows. And Linux is command line. So you can use the one Veronica said. So have I answered your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so who's next? Questions tomorrow or now? Mr. Segun.
Oh, okay.
Can they continue their question?
No,
Tomorrow.
To tomorrow, or better still, if they can type it in the chat box, then you can type it and help them with the question.
Yeah,
It's
please
not
type it in the chat
something that
box.
is put on. That is all. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I hope we've been enjoying the session. I know there are a lot of things that we don't understand, or maybe we are trying to understand. That is why we'll be providing we'll be providing the link. We are recording it, right? You can easily go and watch it over and over again for you to actually practice along and be able to get it, right? But for professionals here, I know it will not be a problem. It will be like an added advantage and additional knowledge because you already know some of the things, you can use some of these things, right? So the next person I will bring up is Adewale Mustapha. Okay, let me see. Oh, my system. I want to read Adewale's profile, and then we just jump in.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Let me introduce you. Okay. So Adewale Mustapha is a SOC analyst, that is Security Operations Center analyst, and red teaming expert. Red teaming, right? Expert with in-depth technical expertise in SIEM, security, information, and event management solutions. Weber, SOA, don't worry, you will be explaining all those things by himself. And endpoint triage to ensure genuine security incidents using MDAP, all these technical people, using EDRs and XDRs. Please, all these things I've mentioned, help us understand. There are people here that do not know what these things are. So before you start your session, so we will be taking us on USB stick. Is it USB stick now? Yes, USB stick analysis, image analysis, and investigation. Mr. Adewale, you have the floor.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Please confirm that I am audible. Please,
Yes,
can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you very much. Wow, thanks for the
Yes,
privilege,
I can hear you.
That big attribute is for experts. Me, I'm a learner here. So when my guy is saluting me like that, that's a big one. I want to give kudos to Nanbaan, Peter, and Oyekunle. These are my guys that have been learning. Thank you very much. I must say I've been learning. I joined the session quite not too early, and it's been an amazing time. Thank you for that volatility tutorial. Thank you for every tutorial that you have taken today. I must say the truth. I'm looking forward to meeting in person so that I can ask my own question. But so as not to interrupt our session, I'll reserve my question till next time. Everybody, thank you for welcoming me again. I am Adewale Mustapha from, let me leave the rest. So tonight, I'll be walking us through USB analysis and investigation. I will like to share my screen any moment from now. Okay, let me share my entire screen. Here. So USB analysis and investigation. Normally, USB is universal serial bus. Now, analyzing a USB drive. Please, I want you to confirm that you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Can see the screen.
Thank you. So
Yes.
I wanted to take us on installation of FTK imager, autopsy, and the likes. but my guys have done good justice to those ones. So there is no use going backward. So thank you very much. We'll not be taking installation guide aside from autopsy. And autopsy is direct, very straightforward installation. You do not really need assistance to get it done. If you are using Linux distro, Kali, Parrot, Ubuntu, you can just use command line to have it installed. But for this class, I'll be taking us on autopsy and HX editor. So please kindly check your in messages. I'm going to send the links to these resources where you can grab them. So as not to forget, I remember I said I was going to send it last time. I forgot. So I'm going to send it right now. So just check the message now. I've sent them. So these are the links you can use to download them directly. The biggest of this file is the autopsy, which is about 1.3 gigabytes. The rest of them are just in kilobytes and in megabytes. They shouldn't take much resources. But for this class not to take much time, I'll be going through autopsy and HX editor. Now I'm going to make an illustration treating a real life scenario. Okay, I bring something to the screen. Please, can you see my Explorer on this screen?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So on my desktop, I have USB analysis and investigation folder, just normal. So when I open this folder, I have cases and this funny G, instances, temporary, and tools. So these are the tools that I would have used for my class, but to be sending them across would be too much a file. So I decided to just grab their links and send them so that we can download them anytime we have chance. So autopsy is actually the biggest, which is 1.3 gigabyte. The rest are quite small. So let's go to the main instance we have today. I've created a case, but I will walk us through what we have. So we received this information from, let's say, client. Please mind you, before I continue, every information I am sharing are dynamic. I am not specifically referring to any organization. I'm just assuming, and if there's a way what I'm assuming is related to anything, just free and flow along, but don't take it as though it's for one organization or another. No. We are just here taking the basic learning from it. So I've increased the font. So this is the case. XYZ taxi company has just been hacked. We are sad to inform you that as of today, sensitive information had been stolen from our system by an unknown attacker, and we were able to recover a file on one of our systems based on what the attacker left behind. We are not sure of what the file contains, as we suspect that users' credit card information was stolen. As incident responder, we need you to help us revert to the attached file. So receiving this message from one of the clients, this is a call to action. And I think 2 days ago, one very big taxi company was hacked. Wow. It was amazing that the guy that hacked them was just about 18 years. I wonder when some organization requires so much certificate, when people that are actually hacking them down does not seem to have any. It's funny. So the person that hacked them down, do them the good favor and show them, mention things he did. He carried out social engineering, and then from there he was able to do RDP, do lateral movement, and get into their systems. So I'm making that as an instance for this coverage. We received this email from this very client that their system has been hacked, and the only thing they saw on their system is just a picture. No, not a picture, sorry, a file. This is the file. So they saw this funny.iso file. Perhaps the hacker did not delete it as usual. So we received the funny.iso file. analysis is where we are going to do our analysis. Now take notes. This file is just a megabyte in size, just 1 megabyte. Now this 1 megabyte file is just what leads to every other thing that the attacker had done. But then how do you analyze this from a USB stick? So a USB stick was sent to us, and then we copy the file out of the USB stick. So I'm assuming that everybody knows what a USB stick is. So if I had connected a USB stick, I'll just click on it, browse to the location it is, and pick it up, then open it. Then on opening the USB, I find this. Now I have many tools I can use to analyze this, among which are I can use Autopsy. I could use HX Editor. I can use Free USB Analyzer. I can use USB Trace. I can use Arsenal. FTK Media can also decrypt some password if you know how to use it very well. But for the class, I'm going to make use of Autopsy and HX Editor. So I've picked up a USB file and I've copied this file from it. But that USB file, that USB case itself, I need it. So because of the timing, when you pick a flash drive, if I'm to present in a Linux environment, I can make everything on the flash drive to become an ISO file such that I will be able to analyze it with my tool. In Linux environment, we make use of DD command. In Windows, we can use ISO Imager, Power ISO, any tool you can use. Just open the flash drive. Don't have to open the flash drive. Just open the Power ISO file, for instance, and then it will show you your flash drive, and from there, you turn it to ISO file. But because of that time frame, I decided to just pick a flash drive and turn the content to this, making use of this instance. So this is a real-life instance. Now I'm going to address it by using this analysis. So we have funny.iso, a file. Please mind you, when you receive a flash drive or you pick a flash drive and you connect to your system, instinctively you double click or you try to open the content. No, not so. As an analyst, you don't just double click a file. We know of phishing, we know of every form. You do not click a file. I'm saying again, if you see a link, you do not click a link. Every organization is now moving towards zero trust. Verify everything, assume nothing. So I'm saying this funny.iso. Of course, it is funny. After hacking a whole website, a whole organization, you left a file, funny.iso. So I'm going to find out what is in there. So I could double click on it, but I'm not going to double click. I'm just going to take it step by step. So I have installed on my system these tools: USB, Autopsy, and HX Editor. So I'm showing the screenshot of my desktop now. I've installed HX Editor, Autopsy, and the folder that we are analyzing right now is this. I open that folder, cases, and I pick the case. So why do we do this? When you are doing analysis, it is very important that you do documentation. Why? Because after every step you take, you want to be able to carefully present it to your audience or your client, the step you took to recover from the disaster or the incident, how the incident could be mitigated, just in case some things could not be recovered. So ideally, you could pick up any text editor. So I'm going to make use of Notepad, the common Notepad. I don't want to make use of many tools that will be hard to access. So this is just a normal Notepad, and I want to start. I can press F5. F5 automatically gives me the date and time I'm starting my work. So I can save. Now carefully see, when you're doing analysis, take notes. Do it with intention that you're going to make a report for every of your action. Because if report is not made, your analysis is not complete. So the means of the format for making your report case is very important. For instance, I have named something here, BNK. The first 3 letters represent the name of the organization, the number I'm giving the event, the analysis I'm about to do, and the date I'm starting. So in case I have a senior or another investigator that want to pick up this case, they can just look by the name, the number, and the date. And then from there, know when I started and the name of the project and what number of the project, open it, then proceed one after the other. Now, there will be a file that I will call documentation. This is the file. Now, let me save it. File, save as, in a location like. So for this case, I'm going to call it XTZ taxi 101 17092022 folder, so that whenever I pick up this folder next time, I can quickly use this to access it. Now I'll call this one documentation. Just follow me carefully. We'll get down to the business now. Just have to get done with this so that it can minimize the question after all. So the first thing I do is I've created a case, and the date I started the project is there. Project started. And let me spare you the rest of the business of report. Now this is the file. I can right-click the file, and then I can choose to open it. But I need to be careful so that it not release virus to my system. So I first of all need to do some analysis. So I can have some program that can help me to do direct use of this program without having to access them directly. So I'm going to my desktop and I'm going to launch HX Editor now. This is HX Editor. I pick up a file, open. Okay. This is case funny. Open. Yeah. Of course, this looks too gibberish. This is hexadecimal. But doesn't have to be necessary. But what you're seeing now, I just hexadecimal. You're like, what am I going to do with this? You can convert to decimal. You can convert to octal. But it's a lot. That's the work of forensic analysis. We pay close attention to small details. We don't want to leave anything undone. So I have done this before, so I'm going to scroll down through the gibberish and look for what I'm looking for. I could tell that this is not just ordinary file.iso. At the end of it, look at this. chill.png with the correct hexadecimal. Okay. I can see another file, KLL. I can see another file, crazy.png. So this is not just any file. I see still another file, cutest guy. So, okay, this is not just any file. This is something hiding in between. Let me open this with another editor, Notepad++. Okay, another gibberish. Now I scroll down. I want to see what else is there. And I can still tell I'm seeing crazy here. I'm seeing cute here. I'm seeing cute again. This is not just ordinary file. I think I'm going to need Power ISO right now. Let me find something that is easy to see so that everybody can see what's going on. So I'll right click and open with Power ISO. Open. Oh, finally, we can see. So we have ATM details, phone.txt. Instinctively, I want to quickly comment in the chat box. When you see these two files, which one would you open first? Go ahead, say the truth. Which would you open first? When you see these two files, just say it. Anybody, you can say it. Say something. When you see ATM details and phone.txt, which file would you open first?
Funny.
Funny. I like my guy. Thank you, Sakari. Thank you, Adediro. Thank you, guys. I love you for this truth. ATM details. Everybody wants ATM details now. Do you know what is inside ATM details? Serial number, CVV, and PIN. And of course, that's what everybody would definitely want to open. But please do not do that next time. Yeah. When you are doing an attack, you're making up an attack, you also want to presume what the user will likely do. So instinctively, these guys have tested different scenarios. Anybody that pick up this file could be just ordinary user that will double click instance 1. Anybody that pick up this file can know what he's doing and open with another editor, intermediate user, instance 2. This could be a forensic analyst who knows what he's doing. But either way, let's continue to lure him or her to see if he or she will fall victim to this. So I want to open ATM detail. No, I need to be careful. I just cannot open this file anyhow. I can see that funny is not just any file. It contains sensitive files. All right. I need to go and unlock this file. So let me just extract the two of them. Extract. Browse the location on my desktop. USB analysis. Funny G case. Ecstasy. Correct. All files. Okay. I have successfully extracted this file. Okay, and I have ATM details funny.txt. The file is 386 kilobytes. ATM detail is 558 kilobytes. What would you do next? Double click on ATM detail, of course. No, you need to find out, is it really a text file? Could it contain something else? Okay, I can bring up my CMD. I'm not in Linux environment. I could use some tools to actually find out this. So let me just close this and use a PowerShell. Now this is my PowerShell. I hope you can see it. So let me say prompt. All right. Yeah, thank you. That's on CMD.
Excuse me.
Let's go ahead.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, please.
Kindly close your chat box so that we can see clearly. It's a request to close your chat box so that we can see clearly because your screen is too small.
Oh, sorry. How about now? Trust is better. So I want to find out.
Mr. Adewale, your screen is still small.
Small?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Is this small?
Yes, thank you.
I mean, each of the program that you open, all those
Yes,
windows,
thank you.
they are small, not the whole screen.
Okay. How about this one I'm dragging?
You can maximize it so that it will fool the system.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Okay. All right. This is the Power ISO file. I've extracted the file, so I can close it now. Hold on. So this is the case file. This is the funny.txt. I want to know what kind of file it is. Let me right click and check the property. It's saying it's a text file. Is it really a text file? I need to find out, but I need to do it carefully. And I have HX editor. So let me come to my HX editor. Let's see what HX editor can do for me. So HX editor, open this file. Let's see what it is. Yes. Another gibberish. All right. I've scrolled through this before, so I know where the location of the file I'm looking for are. Apparently, the guy still contains another crazy. Oh boy. Seems like a lot of craziness is going on behind the scene. Let's try to rename this file to .raw. Let's just be sure the extension is what it is. He's telling me he's going to change the format. I say, yes, go ahead. Raw, go ahead now. Raw. And yeah, that's it. What if I change it to .zip? Could something be added inline? Yes, go ahead. Change the format for me. Double click. Exactly. So this is what funny.txt. So it was not just ordinary text file. It's not a text file. It was renamed to be like a text file. So what we have in there, we have picture and we have crazy. Now, instinctively, you want to double click on this picture. Please be careful when you're doing analysis. Always doubt everything. Verify every single thing at every point. That's the main core factor of zero trust. Verify every connection at every connection point. Verify every authentication at every authentication point. If authorization is instantiated, verify who and who determine the access. So I've accessed the file. Now I need to know what it is. Can I open a picture like a text? Yes. Just to be sure. So first of all, let me extract. Right click and extract all right here. Oh, good. I've successfully extracted the file. Funny. Funny was not just a text file. I'm going to open Funny now. So I have picture of chill, and I have crazy, and I have text file. I will not open this text file. I need to be careful. Should I open this picture? Oh no, I need to be careful. I could be releasing a virus, a spyware, an executable remotely added to my system. Added to the picture that will instantiate a rat. Thank you, Mr. Oyekunle, for the analysis on that remote access tool. That's exactly how remote access tool work. They are amazing. They are Trojans. They act as if they are there to bless you, but behind the scene, they have escalated privilege and become the owner of the system, and they have found a way to exfiltrate your data. So I'm going to right click. Instead of opening it as normal picture, I'm going to try and open it with another editor. I could use HX editor or just normal editor. I could even use Notepad, but let me use Notepad++. Oh, another thing. So because I have gone through this before, and when we are doing analysis, sometimes you just keep going through, and from experience, you can tell what is strange. And guess what? Whenever you are doing this, I watched a film recently. Normally, they have predicted what the analyst will do. So they know where we are going to stop, what we are going to do. And of course, we were actually acting as they have planned until somebody chooses to reverse check the code from beginning to the end and see what logic is behind it. So sometimes it might take some time that you have to go ahead and go through this code. But that's a whole lot. And I've gone through this code before. I've found out that at the depth of this very file, I have some hexadecimal numbers. I hope when I'm highlighting it, you can see it. So there are some hexadecimal numbers that are at the bottom of the text of the image file. This is not just an image. Everything from the beginning is suspicious. Everything contains another and another and another. So this is just numbers. But I can see A, I can see F. Oh, I can tell. This is hexadecimal. Another one, I can see F, another hexadecimal. This one, no, this is binary. This is hexadecimal. I need to know what's going on here. So I have access to the internet. I can convert hexadecimal to text. So I'm going to copy this and go online. How will you see my screen now? Okay. I do this. So I'm going to find a way to convert hexadecimal to text. I'm asking Google. You know, I'm a learner here. So I'm presenting with this one. I'm just going to click just so you can see that everything is directly accessible. Okay, so my system is going slow today. Interesting. A lot of resources. So while this page load, oh, sorry, the page will not load. I have some hard blocker that block things I do not want to see. I'm just being careful. Don't mind me. So let me find another browser, incognito. Yeah, I'm going to use incognito. So I'll use incognito now to find out the same question I asked here. If my browser was actually blocking it. And that's it. I'm going to this link. I want to find out whether hexadecimal that I'm seeing is just hexadecimal. So every bit of what we learn at school is not wasted. When we were doing binary to number conversion, octa to this, no, it's not wasted. There are times that some details are just there that if you have to, oh, my internet is actually down. Interesting. Oh, because I'm having many resources, maybe. Okay, why that is going on? So behind this file, something is hidden in there, and I need to find out. I can copy it and go to the command line if I do not want to use tools. So here, this is PowerShell. Oh no, I need this. I need the way I need it. This is no way I need it. It would have been nice if this thing load, so it could save us time. Interesting. So what was the problem? That might be the only one, you know. So I'm going online to find something that will help me do some conversion. Okay, yeah. I'll copy the file. So I have this, I have different ones. Let me just pick one. Copy, paste, and convert. Good. A link is there. From hexadecimal to a link. Interesting. Now I need to find out where this takes me to. Well, instinctively, you just want to double click on the link and go, right? No, don't you dare. When you see a link, however, even if you are the one that uncover it, be careful clicking on it. I need to analyze that link further. I can ask some website like urlscan.io. I want to be sure that that very link is what it is. So I'm going to ask urlscan.io. It's a platform that will take the snapshot of your destination, so you don't have to go there by yourself. There are tools that can automate this in your Linux environment. But because I'm using Windows for this presentation, I'm not going there right now. So, okay, I know where this takes me. I can just paste the link. Check. Hello. YouTube. Really? Is that what it is? It's a waste of time. Let me go ahead and get another one.
Hello, please can you enlarge your screen, please?
Okay. Oh, and if I enlarge it, you'll be seeing gibberish. Sorry. Hope you can see very well. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to find out what's behind it again. And X to text. I'm using another platform now, and this is what I get. Thank you. Let me see if I can get to this website. Wow. Serious things are hidden in there just within an image file. Okay, do we need this? I can just download this file. But I can tell that these are executable files stating what they are doing behind the scene. So this is actually a result. This is useful. But we saw 3 links in that document. I find one. Let me find the second one too. I need you to help me again. Create, Ctrl V, X decimal. Okay, I got another one. Let's see where this takes me. Oh my God. MasterCard details. Approved. Approved. So now, we picked up a flash drive from the email we received, and from the flash drive, we found a file with the name funny.iso. Where is it again? So this is it. I decided not to open it directly so that I will have reference to it as backup. So this is the file we received. We open with Power ISO text editor. We find out that the file contains two other files. We analyze one of the file. The file we analyze is funny. We've not touched ATM detail. Remember that the two of them came as this format, .txt. But by the time we transform funny, we got this, and we got a folder that contains images with text file. We did not open the text file. We have not opened chill.png. We have only opened crazy.png, which means there's possibility that chill is containing crazy, whatever content crazy is containing. And this text file is unlikely to be ordinary. So from analysis of this crazy, we've been able to see MasterCard information that are hidden within a text file that is accessible on the internet through just hexadecimal. So but I'm able to do this because I've done this before. So when we receive a file, we analyze it step and step. If this is to be on a real world instance, it might take me more than this time for me to actually be able to obtain this MasterCard serial number that is embedded within the picture. So I have to quickly do this very quick so that I will not waste our time, because I am very sure that this session is timed. So I will not go into opening the rest of them, because chill will most likely contain what crazy contains. I can tell that crazy contains ATM serial numbers. And believe me, if credentials, password, any username, that's the same way they would have hidden it. Where there are tools like in the Kalinanos or in the Parrot that you can use to do this without having to use the GUI. Of course, you can use tech tools in the Kalinanos environment to just check the text and hide if that is the GUI. You will still get the same thing. But because this is presentation for people to be able to understand very well, I have to use this environment. So we are done with funny. Should we go to ATM details? Of course, but mind you, for them to intentionally name it as ATM details, something else could be behind the scene. So when you see a file, regardless of what format it is, do not trust it wholeheartedly, because TXT may not be TXT. TXT could be zip, could be raw, or could be .exe or .bat. That file .atm.tt could be .bat. So when you do a mistake, you make mistake by double-clicking this file. When you do that, you could release your carefully crafted program to go ahead and lock the whole of your system. You know the name now, ransomware. So I will not open this. Attackers have found a way to go beyond the extra mile. They know that this could be in the hand of an analyst. So every action that is behind the scene is not meant to run on any environment that is inside box. If I'm going to do this analysis, of course, I'll do it inside a virtual machine that will make sure it is completely out of the range of every other network, just within my own network, so that there is no virtual machine escape that could encrypt the rest of this file in my system, should in case the virus or the worm is let out of the virtual machine. Some attacks are very sophisticated that when you try to analyze them, they escape and quickly infect the system with any program they are made of. So I will not open it. Instead, I will right-click again and check what it is. Another gibberish and gibberish and gibberish and gibberish. So what are you seeing? Don't be frightened. These are just this is conversion from binary to its equivalent as to what we can read. All this one, they are buttons on the computer system, on your laptop, that when you click on it, it will transform and transform and transform and transform and give you what you expect. Meanwhile, computer only understand 1 and 0. But you're not seeing 1 and 0 because this is no longer binary. This is no longer 1 and 0. This is now to the extra mile. This is not why we are here. We are not here to understand gibberish. We just need to find what we are looking for. So I'm going to scroll and see if there is anything again behind this. And I can't see anything so far. But I'm seeing Windows 8 search history extractor, search history.exe. Something else is behind the scene again. You can see how they have carefully crafted an exe file behind a txt file to know that not just a txt file, another executable is within this txt file. This is why you have to be careful clicking on a file that is unknown. So because of our time, I'm going to leave this for now and move to documentation. Remember, I told you that whenever you are doing analysis, you have to do it time. You have to document, because after everything, somebody needs to know what you've done so far, and you want the step traceable to how you were able to recover from the disaster, so that you can guide them on how the attacker could do next time in case a form of attack should take place, so that this could be a mitigation or a recommendation. So I can tell discovered hidden content. I can press my F5 again. Another timing, I have started another analysis. This is to show any analyst that will pick up this folder, this file next time. See the time it takes me to carry out every of my action. See if I was able to maximize my timing. See the difficulty I had experienced. This is just for us to be able to measure ourselves and for us to shake our hand with the next investigator. So ATM details and the rest of it, I will do this analysis further. But before I continue, let me quickly see if anybody has been following me so far. So you have question, you have contribution, you have things I need to correct before I continue. Kindly say it now. And if there's anything you would like to say, please, I just want to hear to be sure that I'm carrying you guys along. So far, has it been interesting or boring? We're not hacking anything here. We are just in analysis.
Has been interesting.
It has been interesting. It has been very interesting.
Just watching.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, when we speak of cybersecurity, many people just want to break the box. Exactly. We are always breaking the box. As a matter of fact, I would still advise, break as much box as you can so you can know how boxes are broken and what it takes to build one box. That's another thing. So day by day, I defend the system by analyzing response from incidents. It's more proactive in nature, not as what SOC analysts would do if this is what I'm given to do. So this is forensic analysis. I am responding to an incident. That is the job of an incident responder. Part of them is we have forensic investigator and the likes. So as a SOC analyst, you're unlikely to be doing this during your workday. Rather, you'll be monitoring using SIM tools. You could use Splunk, KeyReader, Axite, as many, but I will not be able to do any of those here because those require some installation and that will take a whole lot of time. So I remember I said before I started that I will be taking us autopsy and HX editor using a real life scenario. I'll be using a scenario of an attack from XTZ taxi company that I just got asked. Receiving an attachment from them, we analyzed the attachment from the USB drive that we received, and we're able to obtain a link where MasterCard details were kept on the internet. The same internet that everybody used is the same internet where the credentials of their user were kept. Please don't try any of this serial number. They are just from dumps, just for our class sake. So I'm going to move forward to autopsy. Let me see if I still have enough time. Oh my God, I've wasted a lot of time. So sorry. I'm moving to autopsy now. So installing autopsy. Is easy to install autopsy. all you have to do is double click on it. It will ask you to save. You respond with yes, allow access, yes, 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 and the installation is done. It's so easy and straightforward for Windows environment. For Linux environment, it comes pre-installed with Parrot. But if your distro does not have Autopsy, you can install it through the command prompt, through the command line interface. And it's straightforward. Because of my time, I'll not be doing installation for Autopsy right now. I'm just going to make use of it because the installation is quite straightforward, and a newbie like me should be able to get that done. So I'm going to give access, and it's going to start installation and that. Now I'm going to launch Autopsy now. Yeah, here is Autopsy. Please confirm you can see Autopsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
So Autopsy is used just as the name coined from autopsy. Why do we do autopsy? We do autopsy on a dead object, and the case is formally dead, not formally dead actually. It's a case that it had happened. So we need to dig down to the details. What led to this? What could have caused this? And bring an evidence to prove because of this action. So I've installed Autopsy. It's purposely designed for forensic analysis. You will most likely see this in the hand of forensic investigators. You could see it in the hand of a policeman, one of the analysts. You could see it in the hand of a cyber criminal investigator, like that, cybercrime investigator, so to say. So you are likely to see it in the hand of professionals as well. And believe me, even the malware creators use Autopsy. By the time they are done with their malware that they have just created, they want to see what an analyst will do when he's trying to analyze their object. So they want to obfuscate every attempt to analyze the object that has been discovered during the investigation to make sure that they thwart every attempt to reveal the evidence behind the scene. So you will still see this in the hand of the attackers. So here, I'm going to make a case. Case name, XTZ. Hack. That's the name. I'll browse. Okay, I'll pick here. Select. Well, let me create a new one. Step back, step back. Funny G. A folder. I'll give you the case name. XTZ. Sorry. A case number. Autopsy. We are very intentional with our naming convention so that it could translate what it does just by sight of it, the next analyst. XTZ is for the company. Meaning, case number 201, using Autopsy 2 or 1709. And single user, plain, fine. Next. Case number, again, 21. Name is Digital Security Village. By the way, I would like to commend the effort of every administrator of this project. You are doing amazing work. I'm very amazed with your level of commitment. You are doing well. I appreciate you. Please give them a thumbs up and a clap in the chat menu. So organization analysis is being done for. So I've created instance of FBI, Department of Defense, investigator. But you can create yours. You can say manage organization, new. You can say sort of FBI. You could say NSA. I'll call it NSA. An organization, you can put their mail, their phone number, you can say okay, and you can close. And I can come over here and pick. This project belongs to NSA, right? Correct. Finish. Creating a case database. A case database has been created. Sorry, it's still creating. It's going to ask for some questions for us to continue. So on the menu, we have add data, image, videos, communication, geolocation, line, discovery, generate report, close case. Just as I said, for every action that we do, we make sure we present a report to validate our actions. Just so everyone could know we have actually done something. So I need a data source. So I'm going to connect a flash drive because we're doing USB analysis. So generate a new name, new host name based on data source name, or specify the name of the host, or just use an existing one if you have created one. Because this is the first one I'm creating with this very one, I'm going to ask you to generate one for me. It's going to call it from the name. Next. So what can you analyze? A disk image or virtual machine file? Yes, you can actually do virtual machine file. You could pick a virtual machine file and analyze it. You could pick an image file that ends with or .dmg if it's from Macintosh, or you can analyze your local disk or a logical file from network or unallocated space on your system or on a flash drive. Depending on what format is coming from, there are good options that can be available for you that you can make use of. So I'm going to make use of an ISO file. So I'm selecting the first option. Next, this is the path I'll browse and confirm. Funny G, XTZ taxi 201. This is where I want it to be. Open. Okay, select, open. So this is it. Auto detect, sector size. Please leave it this way. This is better. Ignore fan files. In fact, no. I don't want anything to ignore. I want to see everything in the ISO file. Uh-oh. I mean, an instance here. Logical file. Next. I need to browse to the location of my logical file now.
Okay, sorry for the interruption. I want to ask the participants. We're already passing the time that we say we are going to be using, right? So I want to seek our consent. Do you want him to continue, or you should just stop? We should close for today. Please, you can respond in the chat box, please. I need our consent so that it will be on the record that we all agree that we are going past the time.
All right, sir. Please.
Okay,
should
all right.
I continue?
Mr. Adewale, continue, please.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry I'm taking so much of your time. This one will not take more than 5 minutes. I should hurry and get it done. Funny G, I need an ISO file. Where is the ISO file? All files. Here you go. So this is the file. No, not here. ISO file. All right. Open. Next. Now, here is the good part. These boxes selected will help you recover everything on that ISO file. It's looking for recent activity, hash lookup, file type identification, and the rest. I think it's okay with me. I'm going to click next, and it's going to go ahead to recover everything in that very ISO file is made of. But I made an ISO file of just 1 megabyte so that by the time it's extracting the content, it will not take so much time because we are doing presentation. This is just for illustration purpose. So it's very small, just 1 megabyte. So you just come to your left panel and then you can begin to drill down everything you need from that very file. Everything you need, including deleted file, if it's to be a USB directly. So here, I can see that there are 2 images. And look at the images. And they are here showing. Chill, the same thing. Now, there are plain text too. I have funny, cute, and cute again. These were hidden formally, but thanks to autopsy, brought them up. So there are no executable in this very one because another one contains executable. So we have a zip file there. Funny that is considered that is named as .txt is actually a zip file. Thanks to autopsy for bringing this up. Do we have image? These are the images. Do we have text? These are the texts. Were there files that were deleted? It's showing that there were no files that were deleted eventually. And the size was just between, is not among this list. So we have something less than 1 megabyte. So if the file you're analyzing contains so many other things, you will see everything analyzed like this. Autopsy will do that for you completely. So autopsy is quite straightforward and it helps you get your job done in time. You can now choose to save it as a table in CSV, and then from the CSV, so let me save it here. It's saved. I can go to my system to find the file I just saved. Funny, XZ201, and this is the CSV file. I can open it now and see the rest of the content. So that's how to use autopsy. HX editor. I did not mention something on HX editor before we close. HX editor has the power to help you identify the hash file of a file. So you need to compare. So I'm going to clear this window. I'm going to pick something new. So I want to analyze a file and compare if the one I downloaded with the new one are the same. So I pick a file, document, I pick the second one in the same directory. Now I'm going to ask this guy to help me identify whether they are the same or not. Now, if they are the same, it will tell you files are identical. But because they are not the same, it shows their code instead. So peradventure, you download the file and you want to find out the hash file. In this forensic analysis, we do not joke with hash file. Why? Because every file is uniquely identified with its hash at the process of compilation. So let me quickly demonstrate that. So I pick. I'm coming. Let me pick a file. Open this. So I've opened this file. I want to determine the hash file. I can right click. Oh, sorry. I can just come over here and check some. Now every hash formats are here. SHA-1, SHA-256, 384 is meant to be the same. So let me just use SHA-1 and click OK. And this is the hash file of the very file I'm analyzing. If I should receive another file with the same name, but not the same file, I need to be sure whether it's the same file or not. So first I must go back and pick the file. So I'll go. This is the same file actually, but I rename it. So let me come over here and open another one as well. Okay, here is it. So I want to compare now. Compare. Here, the second one, here. Exact position where the difference started. That's where the cursor is blinking to show that this file is not identical. So when you pick any file from anyone or you download from the internet, first of all, check if the hash file is the same with what the internet with what the file provider is showing you. Why? Somebody could hack the website, download the original file, modify the content of the file, embed a malicious backdoor, upload it back to the same website. But immediately it's uploaded, the hash file must change. To bypass it, they will hack the website and change the hash file that is shown to everybody. But if the management are able to spot it on time, they will be able to take down the file and remake another one. But in the instant where they don't find out, that is how you can just download a malicious file to your system because you do not verify the hash file. So for instance, you are downloading calculator from an unknown website, and somebody has already downloaded calculator that's on your system. You can compare. If they claim to be from the same provider, are they having the same hash file? If they are not, that's not the original calculator. Somebody has modified the code. I can modify an executable file. You can modify an executable file. Anybody can do that, even with a text file. For instance, I go to my download, pick a Linux reader. I need something very light. Okay, good. I'm picking this. Desktop, USB analysis, and I paste it here. This is a file that I've just downloaded. Fine. But I want to modify it. I can right click, edit it. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, don't mind me. I can go to the extreme end where I can easily scroll to next time and put a line of hexadecimal code that will perform a command and control function whenever that file is executed. And then I'm typing now, just for you to know that the file is modifiable. I'm going to save it. I'll save it as the same file name. But instead of MSI now, I'm turning to exe. Correct. Now I have two files, exe and MSI. Okay, let me remove the original and put it in temporary folder. Let me go back to the main one and rename it as MSI again. Of course, you wouldn't know that this is not the original file. I've just made another file. Funny, this is a malicious file now that looks like a legitimate file. Now let's compare the hash file. File, open, desktop, USB analysis, MSI. The one I just made, the malicious one, open. Here is it. Let me open the next one, open. The original one that I copied to temporary folder, open. Now I have two. The malicious, the original. The malicious, the original. But they're having the same name. So I need to compare. Data comparison, analysis, data comparison, compare. Browse, the original, browse, the malicious, compare. They are no longer the same because I've modified it. If they are to be the same, it would have responded that this is the same. Let me make a copy of the malicious one and paste it. Let me rename it. Program. Let me even change it to .exe. It's the same file, but I've changed it now, even though they are different formats. But I want to prove to you that the hash file does not change, even though I changed the name and the format. So I'm going to open the first one, open the second one. I need to compare analysis, data comparison, compare the first, the second. See the response. The chosen files are identical with equal hexadecimal value, even though the names have changed, the format have changed. But because the code in between has not been tampered, they still retain the same uniqueness as the same file. So this will be the end all this time. I do not want to take extra time. I apologize for taking so much time. Please pardon me. I hope I have not bored you so much. Administrator, can you please take charge now? Okay, questions are coming
Thank
in.
you. Thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. Thank you, Mr. Mustapha. That was a great one. Okay, so I know we have questions, right? So I will open the floor. We'll just take like 2-3 questions, and then we'll be out of this place.
All right, sir. First question, Rose Wachera.
Yeah, just go ahead.
How can you check a file on the internet as the same file? Let me take the question so that everybody can see it. So here's the question. How can you check that a file on the internet has the same as hash file, the downloaded one? Won't you have to download it again, or there's an online tool to check? Oh yes, you can check. You can find out. Permit me to go live. Download Kali Linus. Okay, my browser, please respond very well. A lot of people are waiting on you. You should respond very well, my browser. I love you very much, but people love you much right now. Oh, I'm trying to compare. Yeah, here it is. Thank you, guys. Can you see this? The old distribution of Kali Linus. Look at where they put the hash file. Very evident, so you do not miss it. Why? We are all security guys. Anybody could hack their website and change the original ISO, just like they did to Linus Mint. Hack the original, embed malicious, upload back to the website, and the website served the fake ISO file for a year. The hacker had uninterrupted root access to everybody that downloaded the ISO from the original website. So this is the original file, original hash. So when you download this, you will now find out whether the hash you are seeing is the same. So how will you find out? I can quickly, I think I showed this one last time. So I go to command prompt. Oh, for easy access, let me use one. Okay, here. So say, for instance, I'm going to rename this now. I will rename this to be Kali 2022.1. And I'm going to rename this as well. Kali 2022.2. Okay, press 2. I'm going to make it ISO. But because the same file cannot have the same name, so immediately I change it to ISO, you can see the format change. Now, so that we will not be having to rename it to another name, I would have changed this one to ISO, and then it would have changed immediately. So I downloaded this very file online. This is the hash file. Now I have another file on my system, or I want to confirm the hash file. I can just go to command prompt, but you could use the X editor now, the one I showed, or you can use command prompt. So sorry for that. So I have this original file now. So if I get the question well, the question is, how can you check a file on the internet as the same hash file? So this is the file on the internet. You download the file. You want to check if the hash file of the file you downloaded is the same with the one on the internet. Just pick up your X editor and use it to check. Meanwhile, you can use any tool out there, any tool, not just the X editor. You can even use your command prompt. You can use any Linux distro. I did that last time. I don't know if time permits. So if I want to find the hash file, I can just click on analysis, checksum, and so MD5, and that's the hash file. If the file you downloaded, after you downloaded it, you check the website, and then you realize that the hash file here is not the same with what is here, you have downloaded another file, not the original. Please be careful with that file. Another way you can check the hash file if you don't have any tool, you can use your command prompt or PowerShell. It will do this trick. So I'm going to hold Shift keyboard, Shift key. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to open my PowerShell from here. So I've opened my PowerShell. I can see ls, see the files I have there. Now I want to find the hash file for Kali 2022 to be sure it's the same. Watch it. I've not closed the original one. The file I obtained should be the same with this. So let me find again. Almost there. Please exercise patience. I'm almost done. So Kali 2022.iso. I want to find the file. I can see sat-util. That's hash file. What's the hash file I want to use? Kali.iso. And I want MD5. Command failed. Hold on a minute. Almost there. My apology for that. I made mistake with the command, so I got a response that is not supposed. Sat-util dump. No. Sat-util hash file. So what am I doing? So that next time, if you don't know how to use the command, if you know the name in command prompt, you can always know what the tool does. If you pick the tool name and want to know what to do, just put space / question mark, enter. It will give you the details, like you have a man command in your Linux environment of what that verifier does. So these are the combination of what I can combine to get it. So I want to use it. This very command can be used during file exfiltration, sat-util, can be used to transfer file across network. It can be used to dump sensitive file from ordinary file, and can be used to determine the hash file of the same file the same way. So I want to determine the hash file. So let me clear the screen.
Sorry, is this question you are answering?
Yeah, I just to emphasize, but I think I've already displayed the results. I hope the person that's asking the question is clear.
Okay, thank you. I don't want to keep people too long. We are already 24 minutes late, and I don't like that.
I'm so sorry for that.
No, it's not you. I mean, generally now. I'm not talking about you. It's generally. And I know people want to get it, but we cannot. There are so many people here that need to go and do some other things, right? So we don't keep everybody here for long. So thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. Thank you for the wonderful session. Thank you, sir. We want to thank Veronica for that wonderful session. We want to thank Nedi. I call him Nedi, don't mind me. He's Oyekunle, right? Oyekunle. I want to appreciate him. Yeah, wonderful session. Oyekunle and Veronica. Nanbaan killed it. Yeah, the email aspect, and everyone that have facilitated so far, they've done well, and they really they went beyond what I could imagine, right? Thank you so much. I'm appreciating the facilitators again. Thank you so much. I do not take this for granted. We do not take this for granted because all of us are learning together, right? Okay, so yes, so we have come to the end of today's session. I want to believe that you were able to get one or two, right? So I know it might be confusing the first time, but when the video is out, right, we will make it public. You can watch the parts that you do not understand. You can watch it. You can rewatch and practice on your own. You see that this is a focused learning, and people are still having this and that. Talk more of saying we now bombard you with all the domains. We are teaching you everything, right? Okay. So tomorrow we meet again by 5. We'll be going down with how to investigate websites. You don't want to miss that. All those scam websites, all those Bitcoin websites that are scamming people. You come and learn how to investigate, how to know if they are legit or not tomorrow, right? And also we'll be taking a session on pickup files. network traffic analysis. You don't want to miss that too, right? And then I will be taking, the person that will be taking the reporting strategy is not around. I will be taking it personally. So let's make it a date tomorrow by 5 p.m. Let's gather together here and learn again, right? Thank you for coming. And we have come to the end of the session. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
So bye everyone.